G'day and welcome back to Down the Shed with Byron and Safety Grandpa. Say g'day to everyone, Dad.
Good mate.
So I got Dad on a little bit of a mission today. This video is going to be a little bit of odds and ends and random jobs that I need to get sorted out in the interim of working on the Bram or Broham, however you'd like to pronounce that. I've got to sort out the wife's car. Tail lights are playing up, so I'll put a little bit of a snippet of what I do in there. I got some wheel dollies the other day and I thought these were really cool and I wanted to do a bit of a video on them and literally just show you how I set them up, and we'll get the patrol on top of it and see if it spins. So technically with the 4 of those it should lift 2,700 kilos, but yeah, let's see what happens. I've got Dad onto a little mission at the moment where we're going to be trying to make what are they called again, Dad? They're like roof jusset thingamajigs. Yeah, something like that anyway. Hey, Dad. So I've got him on the 10mm bolts, making the threads a bit longer, and we're going to make a heap of those because I'd like to make a patio that goes over the wife's car up by the top of the house. And in between all this, hopefully I can learn how to practice using the TIG welder that our mate from Shane's Shed gave us. We've got it all set up now, and I want to practice just welding up mild steel for now so we can have a go at repairing the front guard on the Premier. So just that lower section, but that's a bonus if we get to that part. I want to sort out the patrol. We'll just do an oil change on that, and I might pull the air conditioning compressor off of it and just see what we're dealing with, and then we'll just see what we're up to with that. Another little mission I'd like to do with Dad is help my mate Joe out with his demolition derby car that we're going to do for him. So I've got it running and driving again, but we need to straighten up the back wheel. I need to pull that bonnet out so it's a bit straighter. I end up putting a Mitsubishi Triton radiator in it, which it works. I need to sort out the crash bar, see if we can bolt that back on somehow. That's a little mission we want to do there. I want to clean up outside the shed. So Dad said, yeah, with a couple of bottles of confidence, let's get it sorted and tidy up out here. Then we've got the most important little mission that I want to make sure we get done while Dad's here, is sort out his demolition derby car. We want to put a harness in it for him. He wants one of those meshes that you put in the side, like a race mesh, instead of putting the welding in mesh. So that way he's got access to jump out. I've got to have a look at the speed shop and see if we can find something, or something offline. Give it a clean out, make sure it's sorted, then do a trip down to Mount Barker, catch up with my mate Andy, say g'day, have a can of confidence with him, and maybe a pub feed. Then we want to sort out the big fella's car. We know mine runs. We don't need to talk about that, do we? You know what, shits and giggles, let's have a look. Batteries reconnected. Now, if you are new to the channel and didn't see my last demolition derby in Mount Barker, I happen to win first car out, which isn't what you want. Did some diagnostics and found that the cam angle sensor had failed on me, so lost spark. Anyway, battery's connected. Let's see what happens. Runs min. Better check the limiter. Can I reach it? No, I can't. Well, it's running anyway. Doesn't sound the healthiest. Might need a couple of limit bashes. Oh, we might have a fault there still. Something's not happy. We'll check that out later. Okay, back into the Mercedes. Now with this thing running, these are a great car. They come up with all the faults on the dash, what they electronically pick up. Have a look at all the faults. So as we can see, what have we got there? Right hand tail lamp, brake, and then we've got rear left fog, front right, right hand tail light, rear left fog, oh I think we had that one, left parker, rear right side marker, etc. Right, now we had all those same problems, like same fault codes coming up for the left hand tail light, and it ended up being a burnt out earth on the plug. So I'll just jump in here and show you what I found. We'll go on to the right hand side because I've done a dodgy on the left, so I'll show you how I did that. Now, if we go into here and have a look, we've got, can you see the plug just there? How it's all corroded and burnt out. I'll pull that out so you can have a look. Now to get these lights out, they've got a little tab just at the top. Let's have a look. Can you see it? The little tab just there. And then there's one just at the bottom. So if we pop them up, it should pull that assembly out. There we go. So that's the light assembly out. Now I did a temporary repair ages ago, and you can see that there, where I added an extra earth to the circuit panel there. Then I ran that over and put it up onto the body. Now, the problem I had on that left hand side was the same, and see the plug, how the wire's all cooked? I'll pull it apart and show you. With the plug just holding in that little tang there and then wriggling it up, I was able to pull the plug out. Now you can see how that earth there has just melted the plug away. So that's the same problem we had on the left hand side, but worse. So what I'll show you I've done over here is I just removed that panel and I cut the earth off the plug. So now this plug here comes off. So the earth that went to that side there, I joined up to the earth I made going to the circuit panel, and I bolted it to the body. So again, to remove this, lift that little tang up there and that one there. You see that? Yep. That light assembly should fall out like so. So have a look how that's just completely melted away. Now I don't know if that was the correct fix, but it fixed up the left hand side for the interim. But what I've done, and it was over the Christmas break, is I ended up ordering a couple of them off of Alibaba or something like that. Never ordered off there before, but it literally rocked up within 6 days, 7 days maybe. So we ordered the whole assemblies. I'll show you. And because I've already sussed out the headlight problem, which is the harness is completely perished, and I don't know if it's a common thing, but man, you think for a flash car like this it'd be better. So we got those for the headlights, which is another mission I'll sort out later. The plugs, brand new plugs come for tail lights, and in here we have got new assemblies. So that is for the left hand side, and we've got, should have another one there for the right hand side. So I've pulled them out of the box and I've come to my first little hurdle in this thing, where all the colours are nice and pretty, but they don't match the ones to the vehicle. So what I might have to do is a bit of testing and comparing. I'm sure these said they were genuine. They look very sort of genuine slash aftermarket. So again, we'll have to work this out together. Another idea I might do, I might take a photo so I know the colour coordinations of where they go, and I might run a couple of wires just to this bank and then turn them on and make sure we've got the right lights flashing and stopping, etc. That'll teach me for buying one of these cars. I just thought I'd try plugging the factory plug into the new light assembly. I didn't know why I didn't think of that first. Everything works, so we should be able to technically swap all the wiring over. I'll just put the indicator on. I think this is for the brake light, or it's for fog, but I'll get you guys just to double check for me. Yep, we've got a indicator. I'm hoping that one there's the brakes. Righto, Dad, put it on. Nah, that's the bottom ones right there on. So that must be one of those fog lamps. Yeah, it's all right. Cheers. Just tell me if the fog light comes on, Dad. that coming up?
The top one, yeah.
The other one's not coming on at all?
No.
Alright. Oh, maybe it's reversed. Alright.
Yeah, that just, yeah, it's coming in now.
Okay, cheers. Reverse line. Okay, now we've resolved that, I should be able to swap each wire for wire, and it should be right. I'll show you how I'll join the wiring up. Now there's different variations. You can solder them together, you can crimp it, you could actually get the correct terminals to put inside those plugs. What I'm going to do, I'm going to solder them, and I'll show you how I do that. Alrighty then, so you've got back in the day with your side cutters, or you use your teeth, crimp around the wire and then pull it off. Then you get your other bit of wire, because you're putting your stereo in your car. Same thing again, and like that, and then you just get them together like so, twitch them together, and then maybe you'd put some electrical tape around it. Who remembers those days of putting your stereo in? And it worked. Now, with a nice fresh cut, you can still do that with the side cutters if you're confident, but these are handy as these little wire strippers, so you can actually just measure the length you want, pull that off, and I'll give that a little bit of a twist. Now you can get your crimp on terminal and slide that over. If I had the right size one. Okay, take two. So yeah, you got different size little terminals, so just remember that if you are running with that. You'll put that over the wire. Now a lot of people have got the old school sort of crimps. Again, you'd go with the blue, so it's blue, and you could crimp it like so. Now they do the job, but what I prefer are these Hella crimps. Now you can buy these cheap off eBay, and they've got a couple of different little jaws in there, and what I do is where the smaller part of the jaw is, I'll put the crimp to there, and then I'll bring it down, and they've got that ratchet, and you got the sort of like a, I like to call it the idiot factor, so you can't really stuff up what size. So it's blue, blue, and then you crimp until it crimps, and then it will release. Done. So that's a little way of doing the crimp. Okay, the next way, and this is the way I'm going to do it, is strip the wires back so I've got enough, and before I go soldering them together, because I've got some heat shrink, I'll just put that on the wire first. Then I'll get the two bits of wire together. I'll give them a bit of a twist first. Now I'll join them, a bit of a cross like so, then I'll wind them together. So then you're trying to keep them in that sort of straight line like that. Now I'll get the soldering on. Just gotta make this work. There we go. Soldering on, and we'll just try and get the solder to penetrate through that nicely. Alright, take two, just to hold the wire steady for myself. I'll just heat up the wire with the soldering on, and then dab the solder and try and hope for it to penetrate all the way through. Making sure you've got nice clean copper wire there. Just feed that in slowly. There we go. And I'll just make sure it's all nice and covered with solder, and then just pull it away. Okay, that's that part done. Let that cool for a minute. Then you can use electrical tape. I'll show you the heat shrink shortly, but with electrical tape, what I found with this, when you find the end of it, alrighty then, found a bit of electrical tape. Start just back from where your solder joint is and wrap it around, and then let the roll around so it feeds the tape on, and it sort of like wraps it on tightly then, So if you're going to use electrical tape, this is how I'd do it. Then once you get past it, I like to just pull on it, and then there we go. To me, that's satisfactory. Now you can put, now if you're using heat shrink, so obviously no electrical tape there, you would go, here, let's have a look. So where you've got your two ends, just make sure, make a bit of a note right there, go to there. Then you ask Grandpa for his lighter, he lends it to you, and just run underneath it gently, or use a nice heating torch, which the one I've got's an overkill for this. That's about it. That's another satisfactory join in my books. Righto, that's what we'll do to the Mercedes, and then we'll test it out and see if I did a good job. Moment of truth, but I'll show you what I've done. So I just went one wire at a time, joined them all up, and once I made sure they all work, as in they're all good, I'll electrical tape that together so that hasn't got a chance to move. Another little tip is, for example, you don't want, well in this case I put them all together, but if you want to stagger them, so cut the wire up there, join it there, and stagger one down here, so that way your joins haven't got a chance of rubbing on each other. Righto, Grandpa, you let me know if the lights work.
Yep.
The lights?
2 top, 2 bottom.
Indicator?
The indicator.
Brake?
Yeah, brake.
Reverse?
Yes, and reverse.
Woohoo! Well,
good.
Dirty thumbs up, guys. Dad. This is what I was talking about with the wiring. So if you just let the roll do its magic and just keep tension on it, roll it around. There you go, nice and beautiful. Well, Dad, what you just encountered was called the shed curse.
What?
The shed curse. Where you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Now, I need a hand.
Yeah.
We'll check these lights again. Got the left hand side all sorted out. Hopefully I got it right. Any lights going?
Yep, 2 top, 2 bottom.
Yeah.
Brake lights. Yeah, brake lights, blinker. Yeah, and reverse light. Yep, no worries, mate. All good.
Awesome.
Good.
Another job done. We'll tackle those headlights a bit later. I'll put this back together and give it a vacuum out. So what have we got there? Front left Parker lamp. We know about, oh, wicked. At the moment, one light playing up. I am stoked with that. With those headlights, I've never done them before, so I'm presuming we got to pull them all out and apart. So that's not a job for today. Well, let's park up the Mercedes and bring in the next nugget. So I've just brought the patrol up to the shed, but I've still got the trailer on it. So I might as well work out what rubbish I'm taking down the tip and throw it in the back now, which would give me a little bit of a head start on cleaning up this area. Right, let's get into it. There we go. We just gonna put the swing set in the bin, move the bonnet and boot a little bit later. That's a box full of scrap metal. Exhaust pipe there that we're meant to be making some daddy-daughter day art out of, which I might put a photo just up here about what we're thinking of doing with that. The rest of the stuff, it's not bad. It'll move eventually. Now, what I'll do is I'll get stuck into that patrol. I'll drop the engine oil on that, and then we'll have a look at these Hare and Forbes wheel dolly trolley hydraulic lift thingamajigs. First time in a while I've had a glove on. All right, there we go. Drop that out. Just put the plug to the side. We'll let that drain. I'll turned away for a minute just to go get some bits and pieces sorted out, put the battery on charge, and then I noticed the oil pan has split. I've got a leak. Ah, man. Lucky I noticed that, because I was about to head up to the house. I'll rectify that and then grab a cool drink. Back into it today after last night's little couple of bottles of confidence and having a yarn with Dad. I'm going to get stuck into putting these Hare and Forbes trolleys together. And just before I do that, I just want to trial lifting up the patrol with one of them. Here's a quick look around of the trolley, and I think these are very well built. And the last time I had my patrol weighed, I took it to Petters and they can weigh each front axle, rear axle, etc. And I was roughly about 2,600 kilos, maybe 2.5. I'd have to double check, but we'll run with those numbers for now. So let's say the front axle is about 1,200 and a bit, maybe 1,300. So each wheel should be about 700, would be safe. We've got a locking pin just on the side, so I'll pull that out. You've got a valve on the side here that just releases it, and that should come apart. Maybe I'll just try releasing that. Nope, thought that would have come apart. Might need a bit of a pull. There we go. Right, now will it slide under? I've got 285 by 75s on my patrol, so that's roughly a 32, 33, something like that, 33 I think. We can just slide it under, so it's tight. We'll just push that under and make sure we're not caught on the sides here. So we've got that there and that there. Just lock that valve out and we'll pump it up. Oh, yeah, that's coming up. We'll move the wheel. Yep, wheel's moving. We'll just bring it up to that second hole and lock it out. There we go, lined up. I'll just hold that down. Sweet, that's pretty good. Let's build a couple more and throw them under and see what happens. Here we go, rolling presentation for you guys. You don't need too many tools to put these together. Pretty much a 19mm spanner will get you through, but let's unbox it and go from there. Get that dolly up, mate. Instructions? Actually, might need them. Warning, do not pump the lever when closed. Well, what I did then, just in that last initial section, just to lock it out, I think would be okay. I think what they're trying to say is overloading the system. Open this to roll. Okay, cool. QR code, please visit. I'll check that later and let you know what that means. Oh, assembly instructions. I should probably have a look at that, eh? All right, let's get that out. I'll have a look at those instructions later and see how far off I was. All right. So we've got, I presume you'd call that one leg or one support. Another one. Then we've got the main assembly, the hydraulic ram and that, and a couple of wheels. So what I found was it's easier to install these first. The supports. Now, that's our ram assembly. Undo the bolt, which has got a spring washer and a flat washer on the end of it. On the end there, you got like a spline, so you can't really stuff up and it locks it in place. Then we'll slide it through the holes. And on the other side, there's like a keyway section where it all locks in place, or hex. And what I'll do now is we'll put the bolt bolt into that section and tighten that up. What I'll do, I'll just nip that up with the rattle gun. What do you reckon, couple of duggers? Done. Okay, get the other one, put that into position. Done. Okay, now to install the wheels. They've got a square lockout section just at the top here, and that locks into a section on the plate here. Put that under, lock that into position. Rattle that up. Done. Alright, let's get the other one done. There we go, assembled. Woo! And they've got little brakes on them. How cool is that? Okay, so that last little part where it says do not overstroke the pump. So when you get to that last part of lining up that hole, just wait till you get to that section. Oh, we're getting close now, so I'll just get it to the point where the hole lines up. So we're just about there. Just maybe a touch more. I've just gone half a stroke on the pedal here. There we go. I'll lock the pedal in place, that lever. So that's locked out. Put the safety retaining pin in place. Done. Dirty thumbs up. All right, let's see if I can move it over to you guys. Yep, kind of, still heavy. It's moving though. So if you had a blown diff or something along those lines and you had to park the car up in the shed, at least you could still move it from side to side. Whew. Oh, that's pretty cool. Still a heavy old tank to try and move around, but at least you can move it from side to side, eh? Whew. Righto, that's filters done. Move on to filling up the oil. Actually, that's cleaned out. Almost forgot the sump plug. That could have been interesting. One thing I find with sump plugs, you either got to have them in or out. Has anyone else done this before? Where you've cracked off the oil cap, ready to tip it in and realise you only bought 7 litres? What's the hold capacity? It's 9.2. I normally just throw 10 litres straight in. That seems to be a happy number for me. Oh well, back down the shop we go. Come on, Grandpa. Alrighty then. We are back and I've got the right amount of oil this time. Let's get it in there. Just double check the dipstick, make sure we're at a happy level. Beautiful. Safe to start up now. But before I go doing that, let's pull that air conditioning compressor off. It's just not my day today. Went to put the oil filler cap back in and it snapped off halfway in there. So I've got half a bloody oil filler cap snapped off on the inside of the rocker cover. Hopefully we can get that out. I think it's probably time to have a cool drink and have a break. What do you reckon, Grandpa?
Yeah, mate.
All right. Grab one out the fridge for us, mate.
Yeah.
I've got it. I've got it.
Oh, you got it.
What do you reckon, Dad? I got kissed on the end of the thingamajig.
Yeah.
Oh, now we've got to find another filler cap. Debuild, rebuild. Or will that one? It might go back in. We've got like one thread though. No, I'll go check the. Yeah, I'll go check the debuild, rebuild. I've had all really good intentions of getting back into this debuild, rebuild. But I've taken on too many projects in the meantime, but hopefully I can eliminate them and we can get stuck back into this thing. This will be cool. So if you guys haven't seen this old Patrol. Oh, let me get the oil cap and pop the bonnet. If you guys haven't seen this, this is a project that the kids and I started many years ago. And we put a $500 TD42 into it that I got from the back corner of someone's shed. We've got twin lockers in it, all new suspension. I think there's one hub we have to sort out, and brakes. And it's a good week of just working away on this thing, just to get it back to a point where it'll be drivable and ready for the pits in some way. All right, let's just see what the oil filler cap like on this one. All right, note to self, order another filler cap for now. And that can just sit there. Okay. Okay. Whew. Lucky I have got spares in the backyard. Note to self again, order oil filler cap. Okay, so now to get to the air conditioning compressor, it's underneath the alternator, which is easier just up inside the wheel arch here. Now some GQs, I'm not sure if the GUs have got it, but they've got the rubber flap here, where mine just perished and fell apart. So I end up making a rubber one, which doesn't quite work, but I put nut inserts in. So 10mm nut inserts, or 6mm, sorry, 6mm bolts. So nut inserts into the body so that I can bolt it into place. Now I've got access to the air conditioning compressor. The only problem is, it's the first belt in the firing line. So I've got to take power steering off and alternator off. To get to those, it's pretty simple. Up the top here, we've got the alternator bolt. It's just behind here, 12mm normally, if no one's stuffed around with it. We should be able to push that alternator in. Now over to the power steering. You can see just down here, there's an adjusting bolt there. I also crack the main mounting bolt off down the bottom there, just down here, 14mm. So that way it gives the pump a opportunity to move back and forth. Then there's also at the back, oh, I might be able to see from the back there maybe, there's a nut just there. You just need to crack off, and then that allows you to adjust that 10mm bolt in and out for the power steering. So now that's all loose, we'll be able to pop those belts off, get to the compressor. Righto, I've got Dad on the light duties. You got to hold the light in the right spot for me, Dad. Trying to show you, try and brighten it up, and I'll put a couple of finger marks in there. There's a nut that you need to crack off on the pulley for the air conditioning idler, and then there's a bolt just up the top that you can undo, and that allows the tensioner to come down. If I can get a better picture, I'll show you. Now I've got that 15mm nut cracked off. Could be a different size on other cars, but that's what this one is. I've just got the 12mm onto that bolt and just in the undo position. Hopefully we've backed it off enough and we'll be able to pull that belt off. Now you may remember one of my other videos where we're just hanging out down the shed, where I took the Patrol down to get degassed. So the system is degassed, and the reason why I'm playing around with this compressor is because we had like a real metally paste throughout the gas and it was making a gangster chattering noise. If I can find that, I'll put a clip of that in now. Oh, there we go. Can you hear that? Now I'll just rev it up a little bit. Hear that? I hope you can hear that. So yeah, the compressor sounds upset. I've just rang up the local mechanics, Ours Automotives, and he said bring it down and we'll degas it for you. Okay, righto, we'll see if the belt loosened up on that tensioner. We should be able to get the belt off. Have we got enough? Yep, we've got enough. Now I'll just spin that pulley up, see if that bearing's okay. Sounds alright, but you know what you do when you're here, just change it. Now, to get to the compressor, what do we need to do now? I'll disconnect the wiring, I'll undo those hoses, which we need to flush out anyway and clean. And then I think from memory, the mounting bolts for the aircon are 14 mil, but we'll work that out when we get there. With a different combination of 14 mil spanners, I was actually able to undo all the mounting bolts. And if you've ever done this job before, you'll be, you'll know what I'm talking about. Let's try and get this compressor out now. Looks like I've made that just happen with the power of YouTube. There we go, there's the compressor. Let's pull it apart and have a look. Here we are over on the bench. Grandpa's made all the bolts for us. Thanks for that, Dad. Cheers. And you enjoying your peach iced tea?
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Is it how ridiculous?
Yes.
If you guys didn't see that how ridiculous video we did where we crushed the massive peach iced tea, I think it was peach iced tea, can't remember. Anyway, back to the compressor. So we need to pull this apart. We've got some bolts in here. We need to undo that nut there to pull the clutch assembly apart. Can't remember what that's called. It's like obviously the magnetic dish that comes in. So when you've got power to here, earth to there, it pulls that clutch in and engages the air conditioning compressor. Now, I wanted to actually talk you guys through that as I pulled it apart, but the neighbour's blower is going forever. So we've got it pulled apart. That's not what it's meant to look like. These are all your pistons up in the back here. And I was trying to flip around then, just to show you on the inside here. So see all those little bits of metal filing? That's not a good sign. So will that piston come out now? Yeah, that should come out. There we go. So there's the inside of your air conditioning compressor if it's a piston type. There's all your little metal filings. That's why we're having some chattering happening there. Let's have a look. Yeah, have a look here. It looks like it's been wearing on the sides there. What's that been smashing on? So, yeah, that was about to absolutely hand grenade, that was. So let me have a think about it. Which way does that go back in? So that's that way. Pistons are that way. So, oh yes, it's been smashing on the sides there of the bores. So that's why it was making a clackety clack bang bang noise. Alright, so what am I going to do from here? I do have a couple of old compressors slash brand new ones that we could pull apart and see if we can make work, or do I just buy a new one? But I do have to clean out those hoses or make new ones, and I'd like to replace the condenser because that, I can't remember if that's part of the circuit or not, or if that will have some debris in it. And I've got a condenser parallel flow, so it'll flow down each side of the tube, tanks, and then go through little orifices, like little tubes going across the condenser. So, because I upgraded that from the serpentine. So the serpentine one's like a snake, it comes back and forth. So I did upgrade that. I do have another one that was meant to be for the debuild rebuild. We might have to sacrifice it for this. Here's those spare compressors I was talking about. Got this old nugget sitting here and another one over here. So we should be able to make something work out of these, I'm hoping. Ports are different on the back. What I'm thinking there is we give that a really good cleanup, and then just switch it over. The gasket there should be fine. I'll give this a bit of a clean up, and then we'll put the coil on, circlip it, and then I'm looking at the bearing. The bearing's knackered in this one, and I was just looking in this pulley, but that one's been crimped into place. And then I was looking at this pulley, and that one's got a circlip. So hopefully the part numbers are the same, and I should be able to swap that bearing into that and make that work onto that. But then we've got the next drum with the splines here, where that's a keyway. So I've just grabbed the verniers out, had a bit of a measure, and I'm hoping we're going to be right because you've got an air gap. So the air gap that goes between this clutch engaging part and the actual pulley. So picture that, and then let's go that way. So you see how that's like touching metal on metal. So you've got an air gap, so you've got to measure, like, that's exaggerated, but a certain distance. So when you press aircon on, does that. Aircon off, like that. So that way the pulley spins nice and freely, like this. There we go. So I'm gonna have to have a bit of a play around with that, but I think that's something to do while we're having a couple of bottles, and yeah, we'll get the belts back onto the patrol, Dad, and bring a derby car in. Okay, Dad.
Good, mate.
We're gonna have to make sure you can see out that mesh as well, out the front. And I've got some cushions in here on the side for you. This door should still open though, if you want to get in. Maybe. Nah, those ones are welded up. Oh, might be on the piss. All right, we'll connect the battery jumper pack up and see if it starts. Now that hasn't started since, ages ago. You want to see if you jump in, drive it? Grandpa throwing a leg over. Give it a rev up. Oh. What? No throttle?
No, throttle, but there's no fuel.
Try again. Remember, I've got a shit battery in there at the moment too. So this jumper pack will be running off the jumper pack, I reckon.
Yeah.
I'll go get another battery. Yeah, the alternator's not connected, remember? Oh, I'll see if it moves now. There we go. Just take it for a lap. Still good, Dad? Up to the shed. Righto, Dad. Cheers, mate.
Happy New Year, mate.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Well, we got the compressor sorted. Sorry I didn't run you through it. We just got it done. But I'll show you what I did. Over to the press, we pushed out the bearing out of this pulley. Then I pressed the one out of the old one. Now, I brought this kit off eBay, cheap as chips, and it comes with everything attachable that you could just pretty much get most jobs done with. $100, 100 and something bucks, I thought it was pretty good. Right, then I put the new bearing into the original pulley that I had. I put the 12 volt coil onto this compressor. We mounted that with a circlip. Then I put the pulley on, we gave that a belt on, and then put the circlip on. Then I put the clutch on and gave that a couple of dugger-duggers. Now the air gap we got there, I reckon it's going to be perfect. Haven't measured it, but I reckon that'll be fine. Then I changed over the rear housing quickly, gave that a really good clean out, then put it on. So now we just need to seal up the ports, and we've got ourselves another aircon compressor. Dad just suggested a really cool little tip that I should have showed you to start off with. It's a little bit of steel plate I made to pull the original clutch engaging plate off. And that's just a bit of flat bar, measured out, tapped out a bolt hole, and that just pulled that off. I know you can buy that little jig off of eBay, but when you're at home, that was pretty good. Now, the other thing Dad was saying is show you guys what's involved in the back plate here. This is all it is. A distribution block. So you've got an intake, and outlet. That's it. So all I've done, gave that a good clean, reused the brand new gasket from that one, and then gave them a couple of duggers, and I reckon we should be right. What I'll do is I'll put the 12 volts to it, make sure that engages, and we should be 30 thumbs up. Oh, yeah, just hold on there, be all right. Ready? And the clutch should engage. Nice. That should work. Beautiful. Well, and if it doesn't work, the good old saying of poor man pays twice. But I'm pretty confident it's gonna happen. All right, I reckon another couple of beers and then bed.
Yep.
And then we'll get back into it tomorrow. Back into it today, and we've got Grandpa's derby car in the shed. I've just given it a bit of a clean out, put the leaves all on one side. We've got the harness we want to fit in there because it's a Ford race initially, so it's like the banger racing style that they do in the UK, and then it's all on all at the end. And I just told Dad, just send it, just go forward as much as you can, don't worry about trying to reverse. But what I want to do is make it easy for Dad to get in and out. We've got to put mesh here, either way, it's more for your arm coming out. So what we're thinking of doing, obviously grind off the mesh that I had there last time, and making sort of like a seat belt style mesh that comes up, sewing it, and then having seatbelt buckles that buckle in. So then that way Dad can just quick release it and he can jump out the window if he wants. The next thing we need to do with this is I want to change the chain configuration here, where we've got a bit of a bolt there, which was fine, but I had to think about it. You know, there's little things like this that you reflect on when you're building derby cars. You look at it and you go, hold on, Dad's shoulder's there, he gets a hard hit, he's going to hit that. So at least if we put the chain there, it's a bit smoother, or we'll take that away and I'll just wrap it up with seatbelt, because that's sufficient enough. Coming around the back, we'll touch a couple of tyres, see if they need a bit of pressure. Might belt that bit back in. Boot's loose, might just throw a bolt through that just to hold it from rattling around. Again, that kind of shit doesn't matter. And then up here where the door's half peeled apart, we might just squeeze that in, wrap that up with seat belt. I did have a seat belt idea, which I thought was awesome. It's the middle seat belt out of a car. You wrap that around, use the buckle, and it locks it tight. On longer ones, so normally your center seat belt that you use, you can get it to wrap around there 2 or 3 times and then clip it back together. And I reckon that's a cool idea if you just initially get into the car, do what you have to do, and then when you want to get out, you flick it and hopefully your door opens. Otherwise, it might not. Next thing we need to sort out is I want to make it so Dad can jump out through the front as well. So we'll trim off the little bit of excess here for his mad dog looking derby car. And the big fella has come down the shed, and we're going to pull the Magna up here for him and see if we can get it running. Now this is the one that our mate Darren from Daz's Tips and Adventures used last time, and he went, nah, I want a fresh car for the next derby, which he's building a Volvo at the moment. That thing's going to be a tank, and he said that we can have the bloody Magna because he's over it. So what better person to give that to but the big fella. So he's down here. We've got to try and work out why it won't start. It was working before. See if we can get it running, and we'll bring that up to the shed and we'll look at mine later. Brum, 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 brum. Don't hit your brum. Oh, we just skull dragged it to the top of the hill. Roll it down into the shed. Don't hit the brum, don't hit the brum, don't hit the brum. Whew. Oh, what a legend. Who would think this bloke's gonna have his learners soon? Did you just hit Grandpa's car? Oh, check it out. We'll have to see if Ozcon is keen on sponsoring us again, eh? Go down and see Dan. Woo boy. Whew. What happened under here? Nothing. Well, the battery's connected. See if it'll start. Nothing? Nothing. Alright then. So, starter motor. Is set on the back. Absolutely nothing, hey?
I feel like it might be power, because like you don't even hear fuel pump.
Fuel pump. Is that battery needed? No, we've got no fuel pump, have we? We're back into it tonight, and we're playing with that Magna, and I accidentally dropped the ignition barrel and smashed it, and then we continued fault finding, didn't we, mate?
Yeah.
But what did you find? What did we find besides the ignition barrel being stuffed?
I don't really know. You just did your wiring magic, and then now.
Listen to how good that runs. The neighbours love you, eh?
Yeah.
So just, yeah, we're stuffing around trying to work out why we had no power to ECM or ECU and to fuel pump and stuff like that. Because that's what well, the big fella actually, what was your diagnostics on it?
I couldn't hear the fuel pump run, so I just thought.
No power.
No power.
Hey, he's going all right, eh? And then we got down to the ignition barrel, which then I dropped. Then we had to bypass it, which is actually got it running.
Yeah.
Safety Grandpa, how you going, mate?
Good.
He's been busy because this door was all buckled and bent out. We just ran a couple of plates just there to hold it shut for the meantime. And then I got Dad onto the driver's side. Remember how I was saying about that chain? So he stripped that off. And what we're going to do there is just give that a belt with the hammer. And then we'll wrap the seat belt around that. And you'll be happy with that, eh? Yep. So we've just had another bottle of confidence. And, oh, this was the other thing you've done. Is grinded off all those little tabs. So that way...
Don't rip my ass.
Don't rip your ass open.
Yeah.
Oh, we won't tell him that. It already is. Lucky you can't hear. All right. What are we doing now, big fella?
Putting away tools.
Putting away tools. Give it a clean out.
Yeah.
Pull the chain off this one.
Yeah.
And we'll grind it tomorrow because it's currently about 9 o'clock. And yeah, we don't want to piss the neighbours off. Righto, we'll catch up with you a bit later. Woo! Morning, Dad. Sorting out his vision so he can see out the front. Now, yesterday we ended up running down to the local race shop and buying one of those meshes that you can throw in the side window. Is what Dad wants, so you can drop it down as you're going around, so you can have that locked in. So it's just to stop your arm coming out, and then when Dad wants to jump out, he just pulls it out and drops down. So that's one of our missions today. Dad just sorted out his vision so he can see over the steering wheel. Hey, Dad.
Yeah,
right. We finished off taping it all up and seat belting it up. So I've wrapped the seat belt around here a couple of times, tied a knot, then wrapped it up with duct tape. Done the same on the other side. Then we brought my car down the shed, and you remember how it had that little cough and splatter and a little bit of a fart? So we've put a set of spark plugs in it. So now she starts and runs a lot better, but it still has see, it sort of dies. Now what I'm thinking, is that a fuel pump issue? Because if it was a misfire, it'd be obviously misfiring more. So I've taken the fuel pump assembly out of Jeff's old derby car, because what I think is that gauze there could be covered up with crap and full of material, which is, as it's sucking fuel up, it's jamming up in the pump. So that's going to be one of my little missions today. I'm going to pull that out, have a look at that. Another thing we did yesterday, we gave the big fella's Magna a bit of a clean out, and what I've done under here is we made a Mitsubishi Triton radiator fit because the other one was stuffed. So we've made that work, filled it up with water. Oh, seemed to have held, maybe. But again, this is going to be one of those cars that I think, like I'll tell the big fella, just send it, mate, and see what happens. And we'll hope for the best. But otherwise, We just need to tidy up the wiring again in here, and this is pretty much done. And I think I'm going to remove the power steering for the just in case, because it's not even connected, because this car hasn't got a harmonic balancer on it. It's actually delaminated straight off the engine, so we've got no belts or anything. Yeah, so that's it, just there, running nothing. So, and another thing I was thinking of doing was putting a secondary battery in it. So it's got 2 batteries just in case we run flat. But in half an hour, we might even do a test in the backyard. Another thing I was questioning myself about, if you watched one of my last Demolition Derby videos where I put the back wheel in the back seat, I've got the fuel cell there. Now I do watch a lot of people, they put a jerry can tank just in the front here. So I'm umming and ahhing, do we move that? But I have made it so it's all on rubber mounts. This plate here is real thin steel, so it should bend. But I don't want to risk my boy in there either. But I'll cover it up with a fire blanket and a leather jacket and bits and pieces. But this banger racing, I've never seen the boot go any further than here. Yeah, anyway, we'll see how we go with that. Now, my mate Dazza from Dazza's Tips and Adventures has popped over, and he wants to get stuck into his Volvo. So today's mission for Daz, hopefully, is to get his bar work done, doors welded out, and everything strapped up. And then worry about other bits and pieces, because it runs and drives. It might need a service, but I reckon this thing's going to be a weapon. And the man, the legend himself, Dazza's from Dazza's Tips and Adventures.
Hey Byron, how you going, mate?
So you reckon that bar's going to fit straight in?
Yep.
Well, that was out of DJ's, it was out of the Commodore wagon, which then DJ's modified, and then we put it into the Honda Jazz, or Honda Civic, sorry.
Honda Civic.
Yeah.
Going into the Volvo.
Going into the Volvo, but what I was looking at here was, because I like to bolt it through the B pillar, we might make a plate that comes like a bolt here and a bolt just under the hinge. So that part there, a bit of a plate, and then we'll make a plate back, eh? What do you reckon of that? Yeah. And then the upright will just go straight off the floor from behind the seat there. Pretty close.
Oh, a bit long. Oh, we can make that.
Just too long?
Yeah.
Oh, life story, mate. Righto, Dad. Take it for a test run. Don't run into me bonnet. Take it for a test run. He's driving 2 feet like a race car driver. Righto, make sure you can get out. Sweet. I'll bolt them in later. So we've just tech screwed them in for now. And then I'll put a couple of bolts through. What do you reckon, Dad? Cool?
Ah, bloody good, mate. Oh.
We'll have to put a handle up there for you to grab onto. Oh, your wallet full of 50s or hungies.
I feel like a dog with 2 tails, mate.
A dog with 2 tails. Righto, we'll have to get a photo of you in front of it. Righto, that's it for Dad. He's heading home. Thanks for giving us a hand, Dad. Take it easy.
Yeah, good, mate. Got a good car there. Right, hope I can get a place.
Yeah, boy. Righto, see us down in Mount Barker.
Yeah.
You go have a shower and get ready to go.
Yeah.
Now, we got Daz's car into the shed and started sorting out all the little bits and pieces we had to get sorted. And so Daz could make another video for his channel as well. So Daz's Tips and Adventures of building his derby car. Today he's got front mesh in. That's just something just to protect if anything comes flying up. We got the bar work sorted out in the back. I'll just turn the light on to show you. So I ended up making a bit of a what do you call it, like a bit of cross, because the upright bar was literally 2 inches too short. So I cut it and it worked out perfect. So now we've got that behind the headrest. We'll strap that so it's nice and tight, so if the seat fails, it's stuck to the pole. We used a great big nice bits of steel in here, roughly, I don't know, 6mm thick, and then I've bolted that through the B pillar. So that's all bolted through there, and I'll weld up those nuts later so they can't come out. We've got to weld the doors up. It's another mission. We've got the steel plate in the back. Hopefully we can find something that will fit in the Volvo door for Daz. And then we can start welding up those doors for him. Throw a couple of straps around the back. That'll be fine. Again, with this sort of racing slash derbying, I haven't really seen the back of a car get caved in that badly. But if it does, awesome. So we do have another little side mission to do on Daz's car. Now the fuel tank is under the back there. So we're going to look into relocating that fuel tank and making the jerry can fuel tank system. And it looks like, turn the light on again, looks like it would fit perfect just behind here somehow. But we're going to have a look into that. We've got a battery tray mounted, and I think Daz is pretty happy with that. We'll try and catch up again over the next couple of days. Now, while I've on the mission of getting this fuel pump out, because I thought it'd be rather important to show you guys what we find when I pull it out. So I'll set yous up now and we'll pull it out together. All the screws are out. Just move the tools over and give that a wriggle out. Okay. Caught on some bits and pieces. There we go. We've got plenty of fuel in there. Here's that gauze all chockers. Bit hard to really tell. Doesn't look very clean though. We'll have a look down inside the fuel tank and see what we can see as well. But again, it'll take me 2 seconds to grab the other fuel pump, throw it in and see what happens. Have a look, see what we can see down the bottom of the fuel tank there. What can we see? Doesn't look the healthiest, does it? What do you think? Should we pump it out? Maybe throw some fresh fuel in there? That might help, eh? Now just remember that this old Camry has done roughly 300 and something thousand kilometers. So has this pump ever come out? Let's have a look side by side. Now Jeff's Camry was an auction special that had maybe 100 or so thousand Ks on it. Again, I might let that dry out and we'll have a look at it a bit later. But already side by side comparison. What do you reckon? Still shit in that one there, isn't it? Definitely discoloured compared to the other. But again, best way to probably test this out would be bang a fuel gauge on there and see if the fuel pressure drops as we rev it up. But yeah, let us know what you'd do there. Well, I thought I'd just share that with you guys just before I wrap up this video. I thought that was pretty cool. Pull that out to have a look. Be interesting to see the outcome when we resolve it, hopefully tomorrow. Now, a massive dirty thumbs up to the old man. Thanks, Dad, for giving us a hand and a bit of a push with a couple of odd jobs, like the patrol aircon and the wife's car. Dad's like, come on, mate, you got to get stuck into them. I'm like, nah, I've got derby cars to play with and other cars like the Brahm and my VT Commodore. And Dad's like, nah, you've got to get these ones done. So thanks, Dad. If you've made it this far in the video, cheers, mate. And everyone else for watching. I hope you enjoyed just hanging out with me and a bit of Dad. It was good. We made some good memories down the shed, and yeah, it's sad to see him go. But I guess I don't have to wait long. He'll be back over in April. He's already booked his flight and is keen as mustard to come over. And like he said, he's like a dog with two tails. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. Dirty thumbs up, take it easy, and make some great memories with family or your best mates. Righto, see you later.